Hello and welcome to this new video. This topic is going to be about port scanning. So, let's start. To know what is port scanning, first let's see what is a port. A port is just an end-to-end communication from one device to another device. For example, like C ports. Like C port 80 transfers information, let's say to C port 300, and C port 22 transports information to C port 60, and so on. That's basically how computer ports work. They transfer information from port to port. So what a port scanner does is that it scans the IP and tries to connect to one of these ports, and then after that it sends back the information saying what port is open and what port is not open. There's something called stealth scanning, even though it's not stealth anymore, but what it does, it just says that it's going to connect to the port, but in reality it doesn't connect to the port. It just says it's going to. It just gives the request, and then it brings back information of that port. So that's pretty simple, port scanning. It is used to see if in open ports there's any exploits in that port or any way to get around in it. And yeah, pretty much it. This is very important for pen testing and website penetration testing. And yes, now let's go on to the practical part. So we're going to use 3 different types of port scanners. 2 that I made, one in C, one in Python, and the other common port scanner that's very good called Nmap. So we're using my own IP to see what results I get. So scanning my own IP, it just gave me one port open. Okay, pretty much it. So now let's go to the Python port scanner. Sorry, Python port scanner. Sorry, I had to put Python 3. There we go. And it's giving us results, these 2 results. Now, I already did the Nmap scan because it's long, but here it is. So, typed in the Nmap scan. There we go. Here. So, Nmap T5 fastest scan, TAC A, all ports, IP address. Interesting. Here's the result. I like this more because it gives out more consistent reports of the actual ports that are open. So here's saying what port is open and giving us information about the port, and it's much more detailed and very good. So now that we gone through the practical part, it's very simple. We're going to break down the port scanner. So I have 2 port scanner codes here, the C port scanner and the Python port scanner. So it's very simple. Here's just a bunch of imports. Here's when we define our target. And when we define our target, we're going to translate the host name to IPv4. If this doesn't result what it has to be, it's going to print like out invalid amount of argument or a syntax error because you forgot to place IP. Banner, pretty simple, just to make it look nice. So now here's the important thing. So after we enter our target, what it's going to do from that target, it's going to scan from port 1 to 65,535. It's going to scan all those ports. So what here it does, it connects to those ports, and after connecting to those ports, it will give us out the result. So if the result equals 0, it will print out port 62 is open. It's close. So here we can analyze this right here. Here, AFINet means IPv4 and SOCStream means port. And then, when it defines that, it will connect. And here are some exceptions. For example, you interrupt the keyboard so the program will stop working, or like a socket error so it couldn't find the server. The same for the C port scanner. It pretty much goes the same, just without the banner. So you have the imports, like the basic stuff for C, the libraries. You have to define the host name down here. Then after that, it connects to the IPv. It connects to the port, and it just scans out of all of these right here. And yeah, and then it's just going to print out final what ports are open. So it's pretty much just like the Python port scanner, but it's a bit longer. But C and Python have their different uses. I'm just here explaining how they can be used as a port scanner. So, well, this will just conclude the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. So, thank you very much for watching and subscribe.